Yeah. I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. Man. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I hope my team they won. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with this hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
So Dr. Cavil's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We're back at it. We're over here in the Omni with the bar, and it's starting to pick up. It's starting to buzz. We talked about that a little bit
lathering
yesterday.
Up a little bit.
It's lathering up. We see Goff in here, the AD from Prairie A&M University. We see Chris Peterson in here, the AD from UAPB.
Hakim McClellan.
Mississippi Valley. Mm-hmm. Saw him. He just snuck in here. Give him a shout out there. And so they around here. We have Hall of Famers, Alcorn State Braves in here, sitting out here with his colleagues and friends, a frat brother of ours in the mix. So it's big. Yeah. We got Green over here. FAMU folks are starting to
make their way in.
And much like you know about Jackson State or Southern, Grambling, Alcorn. I love it because they wear their colors.
Yeah.
They're going to put on their stuff.
Yeah.
And they're going to make sure that you know that they
wear it proud. Exactly.
Now, Charles, it took me everything to make sure I didn't order a drink. So let's see how long we can go through the show.
About to say, we got X number of minutes.
It's been a long day. We've been good. We put all the work in.
Yes, we have.
It's time to celebrate. But we're going to try to give you a good hour.
There you go.
To make sure before we get too far into it. Let me shout out some of these folks as we do it and make sure that we open it up properly. This is Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, episode 470 of Inside the HBCU Sports Radio Show and Podcast. The show that's covering the sporting HBCU dash for all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small, from the NEIA to the NCAA. We share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs in the business of HBCU sports. I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, along with my co-host Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Mike is still on assignment. He promised he will be here tomorrow, so y'all will see him. And you know what happens when he comes to town. We really get off script. We are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to KCOH 1230 M studios with the Radio Hall of Fame, multi-Hall of Famer Ralph Cooper. Not at the beautiful home of Texas Southern University. I guess we could say AU Center, Morehouse College, Clark Atlanta University.
Yeah, on the road. Cavil's inside the HBCU Sports Lab on the road. There
Top
you go.
Draft
Yeah.
is the spot to be in Omni, man. If you want to see the big timers and see them all in one place, we chose it right.
Yeah.
We're going to have a post thing afterwards, invitation only. You know, I told you about my suite. So I like my suites in the stadium. I like my suites in the hotel.
Medium well steak. There you go.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Graduate to medium well. That's when you're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chuck Hunt, LaShant Harris, and Deese. Wendy Jenkins Bishop, Jimmy L. Wilson is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Carol is in the house. Watching Silas Edward McMorris, who is in Michael Ford, Lawrence D. White. Who we have? Wendell, Brother Davis is in here. Lawrence is in the building. That's Mary Allen. Good stuff. Much love to all of y'all that tuned us in. We're going to take you in here. I know some of y'all on your ways. Some of y'all boarding planes as we speak now in the airport. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all are landing from the airport as you get to your hotel. Some of y'all be flying in tomorrow. At different times, we certainly going to make sure that you understand what it means to be in the house in Atlanta. We have a big game that we're here for.
Yes.
Band championships that we're here for. Dr. Howard Henderson is in the building. He's cheat coded us. He didn't get the message. He's supposed to wait until after he can't join us in the show right there. in terms of that.
Right.
You can have a seat over there by Roy in that area. You want to just relax a little bit.
Got Alabama State's SID over here.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
my
come
goodness.
back. He's checked in. He's ready to go. Look fired. He's going to solve the world's problems. We're going to have that. Look at it. I told you. Hakim is over here, AD. Make sure we give Mississippi Valley State some love.
Yes, indeed.
Pine
Delta Devils in the house.
Oh, you good? You good? Represent. I know you busy. Y'all talking business over there. Taking shop and stuff like that, so they're getting it done. So this is the place to be. Southwestern Athletic Conference, Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, and boy, when we turn out and it's time to do it big, we're doing it big.
The merging of the two worlds. Yeah.
Exactly. You got FAMU bus heading over there to the Champions Dinner. That is at the College Hall of Fame. That's a beautiful event.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, we actually did our show from inside there. But we always are twisting, always turning, always getting it done. Last year we got to do the barbershop. We'll probably go back to the barbershop and shoot it from the barbershop next year.
Sure.
Let you know how that's going and those kind of things.
That has been a huge attraction here with regards to the Celebration Bowl.
Those young men love it.
Yeah, the athletes in the grooming session there. Big time atmosphere when you talk about all the accoutrements of the bowl experience. So that's pretty cool.
Accoutrements.
Yeah.
Put out the SAT word. He said he's not impressed. He say, come on more. Dig deeper.
Dig deeper, exactly.
With that being said, anything else that you want to share before we get into some of this news?
Yeah.
What has kind of excited you? I know you took place in the first band media day.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. When you had the band press conference earlier today, Florida Memorial's band director, North Carolina A&T's band director, as well as Virginia State, the Trojan Explosion, their band directors were all in place.
Jackson State is here.
Well, Jackson State is here. They were practicing.
Folks going to start texting.
Exactly. But they gave a lot of great insight in terms of the metrics, in terms of making sure that the right bands made it here for the Band of the Year competition. It is a competition. It is not a battle of the bands. Make sure to get that out there. It is not a battle of the bands. There will be a first place. There will be a second place.
And you'll get a trophy.
Yeah, you will get a trophy.
It's named after legends.
It's named after legends, exactly. So there will be a trophy for the Division 2 band as well as for the Division I band as well. So looking forward to that. A lot of excitement in that regards, and wanted to make sure to get it out there. That they want people to know the right bands made it. The right four bands made it in terms of the grading rubric that was in place. These are the elite of the elite. So there you have it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Great as they continue to come in. Again, I'm going to start with the news of the day, which I always enjoy because this is the week, and they purposely do it as part of the Cricket Celebration Bowl, where they announce the incoming inductee class. This will be 2024 class at a Black College Football Hall of Fame. And so I want to get your thoughts, but I'm going to jump this down before I get your thoughts to let everybody know that hasn't seen it. Those that have, we'll talk about it a little further. Coming to you from the HBCU Game Day Newswire, the Black College Football Hall of Fame announced its 15th class today, class of 2024. 7 inductees were selected from a list of 28 finalists who had been determined earlier by the Black College Football Hall of Fame Selection Committee. The Black College Football Hall of Fame class of 2024 includes, we get the drum roll.
Yeah, they got to have the drum roll on it.
Joe 747 Adams.
Yes, indeed.
Tennessee State University. Antoine Bethea, Howard University. Wayman Bryant, Tennessee State University. Kevin Dent, Jackson State University.
Big smile.
Richard Huntley, Winston-Salem State University. Lamar Parrish, Lincoln University. And Coach Eddie Hurt, Morgan State University. Heck of a class. I'm not sure they ever had a class where you looked at names and didn't just smile, either from folks that you actually got to watch, game film and tape that you had to watch, or pictures that you've seen, or the historical facts, artifacts that you've read and viewed that just has, as we like to say, memories fond.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And, I take a look at this class, and it harkens back for me, the men of my block, all HBCU graduates, but all of them talked about the great 747 Adams of Tennessee State. A lot of Tennessee State representation on my block growing up in Jackson, Mississippi. I grew up a fan of the SWAC. Watching some great Jackson State teams, especially when you talk about the Jackson State teams that won 28 SWAC games in a row. Kevin Dent, especially a part of that. There were a lot of kids in Jackson who wanted a number 49 jersey. So definitely one of the highlights of me doing this was getting an opportunity to interview Kevin Dent last year. So big shout out to my guy Kevin Dent. And I tell those guys all the time, especially the 1987 team, that how they just don't know how much a part of my childhood and a lot of childhoods that they were a part of in terms of guys just idolizing those teams back then. So shout out.
Well, shout out. Well done, Charles, in terms of taking people down, not only the honor, but why it's important to you in terms of literally your childhood.
Yeah.
Your block.
Yeah.
In terms of what you grew up, which is a magical era in terms of life in general. So certainly. Let me go down and just see anybody else. Bethea, probably one of the youngest inductees of what most recently did in the Hall of Fame, doing broadcasting with the SIAC in some of those HBCU game days with HBCU Go. So that's pretty fascinating and pretty cool in terms of that. Joe 747 Adams.
Yeah.
A lot of legendary status of what that talks about.
Yeah.
Anything that comes to mind when you think about Joe 747?
Yeah.
One of the things I'm going to say before you get in there to hit you on this is you also are one of those folks that enjoy that the yesterday of the year all these folks had these nicknames.
Oh gosh, yeah. and when you talk about the black media that would give these guys their nicknames, and sometimes when you listen to Ralph Cooper now, he will bestow a nickname on a player.
Yeah.
So and the SIDs of the time, they attached a nickname to a player. You talking about the Lord's Prayer. You talk about 747 Adams. You talk about the Undertaker Brown. So just a lot of great names. Milt Slick Barney. Just so many names from yesteryear. But, I mean, it really does take you back. And then for me, especially like I said, I had the great privilege of growing up on a street where the men of the block valued HBCU football, and it was HBCU football first and foremost. So they always talked about the guys who played in the mid to late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s during their time in college. So you grew up with a tremendous, not just fondness, but a fascination for the Robert Brazils of the world, for the Eddie Paytons, the Walter Paytons, and the guys who really come before you kind of come of age within HBCU football. So really appreciative of it. Really appreciative of it.
Last one I'm going to add to you is the other side. We talked about the players, but then there are some legendary coaches.
Yes, indeed.
Coach Eddie Hurt, Morgan State University. Boy, you talking about some legendary programs, legendary coaches. At that time, they were multi-sport coaches. They may have made their legendary status in a particular sport, but they could get it done in multiple sports to talk about just how talented they were at their craft in terms of literally at that time teaching the game in a way that allowed players to be great and their ability to recruit players. It's fascinating when you think about it. What are your thoughts on Coach Eddie Hurt?
You talk about a legend of yesteryear for all that he was able to do at Morgan State, and you talk about it all the time, especially giving honor to those coaches, especially who were giants of the game, who passed the game down to the next generation of coaches. You just really appreciative of all that they did in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and it's important that you go back and you recognize their time and their place in history where the best of the best could only come to us, and they were coaching.
Good stuff. Shout out to Dominique Rogers-Cromartie. As professors, this is what it's all about. And the fact that he's been able to go do it at the professional level, and he saw fit and made time to come back. And you could tell just with his video, his smile, that he was extremely excited to close this chapter for him. I'm sure his family. Shout out to Coach Roger Reed, Tennessee State University, that actually had a chance to be there and celebrate the Chargers. And I got a chance to talk to Coach Reed. His family stayed with Reed to let you know these connections.
Nice.
They go past what's on the field. But shout out for him and Dominic Rogers-Cromartie in terms of graduating from Tennessee State. Big time shout out in terms of what that looks like. Exceptional in terms of what he was able to do in OVC, and then obviously parlayed it in terms of a career past that is amazing in a lot of ways. So I did want to get a shout out. Before we take our first break and turn it to the other side, any other news, any other thing that you kind of wanted to shout out as we get into this special time of the year? It's affirming in so many days for those that celebrate Christmas. Obviously, Kwanzaa, New Year's is just a holiday. As we head into that break, we get festive when we get to do it on such an occasion when we crown a champion at the Division I level for HBCU sports.
No doubt. And I want to encourage everybody, if you get an opportunity, go back and take a look at the show that we did earlier today, especially talking to Dr. Charles McClellan, who put some nuggets out there for us. John Grant, Executive Director of the Celebration Bowl, in terms of our conversation with him. Tremendous conversation with both coaches in this Celebration Bowl, Larry Scott as well as Coach Willie Simmons, and then A.D. Ashley Robinson from Jackson State. And he and Willie Simmons talked about their growth coming up together. That was real talk at Prairie View. So great discussion earlier today in terms of what we were able to get done and really start getting into the weeds and into the sports business, if you will, of not just HBCU athletics but the Celebration Bowl in general.
Yeah, well said when you talk about what that looks like and all that nature. With that being said, let's take our first break. We'll come back on the other side, and we'll get back into the game mix and give you some more things to consider and look like. And amongst that, we'll see what's going on, see if we get any shout-outs from any of the ADs that want to come and just give you their words and thoughts. With that, we'll take our first break and come back on the other side.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
The Cavil Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cavil.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
You see, Head & Shoulders has Scalp Shield technology, protects against flakes even between washes. It's never not working.
Kind of like us. We're never not working. Number 15?
That's my rub.
Ooh, nice.
Never not working.
Never, ever, never, ever not working.
Welcome everybody to Juneau, Alaska.
I don't like this one.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head and Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
T. Madden and Associates is a sophisticated and experienced law firm located in your neighborhood. We're turning injury to cash.
T. Madden and Associates obtained almost $2 million for my injury. They turned my injury to cash.
Now, we can't guarantee how much your injury is worth, but we've recovered millions for our clients.
Call T. Madden and Associates at 833-PAID-123. That's 833-PAID-123.
This is Bryant. Test the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, yeah, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he
This is Dr. Ville's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Man, I told you they were here. We got the boss men at it coming in here and giving us that information. This is Dr. Ville's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. As we do it, we have Mississippi Valley State Athletic Director Hakim McClellan, and as we also have University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, Chris Robinson, in terms of the AD there. As we just get started, make sure you put your mics up a little bit so we can make sure you get you. Now, let me first say welcome. Appreciate you joining the show. Been really a fan and support of what y'all getting done at the institutions at that level. But let me be straightforward with this in terms of that. How you doing, man?
I'm great, man. It's a pleasure to be here in the city, in for meetings and be in the presence of greatness. Y'all got the whole side just booked off in the restaurant. Man, it's good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. I
Good to see you as well, okay?
for HBCUs as a whole. So I thank you all, what y'all doing.
No doubt. Same question to you, Chris. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing outstanding. I'm excited to be here as well. Same sentiments, Hakim. I just thought I had to pay to get in this corner. I'm glad to be over here. So thank you for the opportunity.
Man, y'all money don't spin around here.
Exactly.
Y'all money don't spin around here. We're going to take care of that part. We got that done. But that being said, we don't always get a chance to really share and highlight your all programs for various reasons. But I think this is a perfect opportunity to talk a little bit of light about that. Let me start with you, Chris, in terms of your program, some of the big things and exciting things that you got going on with the Golden Lions in the program.
Oh, we're extremely excited about where we are. AD Hakim and I were just talking about a few things, a few initiatives we have on campus. Of course, we've been around for 150 years in existence at the university, going through some major changes and all those things and major challenges as well.
That's
and,
fair.
Of course, the big thing now about schools being underfunded and all those things too. We're in a place right now to where we want to make sure, as consistent with the HBCUs, as consistent with the SWAC, it's time for us to get ours.
Sure.
It's time for us to come up and people know who we are, what we are about, and what we're doing. We're in the process of building our first ever track and soccer complex. We never had a track on campus. And we have some exciting kids that have come through and done some amazing things.
Wow.
We're building a softball facility, doing some things as well, and just a lot of buzz. Of course, we just won the SWAC championship in golf.
Yep.
Then we won the fall back-to-back.
I saw that.
We shouted at. He made sure.
Yeah, I want to say that again. We want to say, but coming off of this weekend, there's a lot of buzz. Our men's basketball program is coming together, doing some good things. We got a young man back the other day. I think we snuck up on Connecticut right there with them. By halftime, but then they pulled away second half once they made the adjustment. But then, of course, our women's basketball team, they're hot right now.
Yes.
Of course, we just come off a big win,
Yes.
beating the Arkansas Razorbacks. That shocked some things. And, of course, we're about to host Ole Miss. And we're coming to make sure people know who University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff is. So excited about where we are. A lot of good buzz going on and looking to continue to push.
No doubt about it, as Charles like to say. Yeah, when that ticket came down, you was running the highlights. We seen that.
There were a lot of high
That
fives.
buzz came up there. A lot of folks was like,
Yeah.
hey. Social media started exploding. I said, yeah, Chris got it.
Yeah,
Coach got it.
Zach Green
They got it.
special. She's special. Yes, indeed.
Good stuff. Got the Dr. Paul Bryant, AD from Alabama A&M. He just joined us over there speaking with Goff for getting in there and getting it done, Prairie A&M AD. But now, back to you. Let's get into Mississippi Valley State.
Yes,
what y'all got going down there?
The Delta Devils.
The Delta Devils.
Man, got a lot of things brewing. State, and I got a lot of things.
Elevate.
Some foundational things that we're trying to do. Of course, when I got there, we redid our track, resurfaced our track.
Wow.
Got a jumbotron going up. It's always a lot of talk about when you come to Mississippi Valley, man, the facilities and grass and this, that, and other. So as a former student athlete, former player, I heard it loud and clear, heard our players.
Okay.
We want to take care of our student athletes, so I'm in the process of putting some new turf down. We're trying to change the game as a whole and have a great environment for both sides of the play, but as a whole for our recruits to show them that we have something safe to play on in that retrospect. So
that's big time.
Upgrading some things on baseball, baseball hit facilities, baseball and softball, and some of our tennis. So we're just doing some things here and there. So
you make it sound smart. We just doing some things.
Yeah.
What do you got? We just doing this, a little bit of that.
Trying to raise the bar and give respect to the ones that came before us.
And
for the future. So
Well
that's
said.
what we're definitely trying to do because it's a lot of hard sweat, blood, sweat, and tears that went down through the campus, and we want to just try and upgrade that. And for our student athletes.
I often say, especially growing up in Mississippi, that the Delta area, that fan base, they absolutely love Mississippi Valley State University. They can't wait to get that the winter back on track. So for you putting things in place to create the resources needed and upgrades and things of that nature, really excited about a lot of things that you're doing up there at Mississippi Valley.
Oh man, and without a doubt, like you said about the fans and the community as a whole, we're definitely about that community. We just did a turkey drive for the community, and we did a Christmas party where we did a toy drive and people brought toys in. So it was a party with a purpose, and we gave it to our local Boys and Girls Club.
Nice.
We gave some toys away. So the community is without them. That's what it is. And like you say, the Delta is near and dear in our hearts. My wife's from Indianola, so I went to school there. So that's the second home for me.
See, my wife's from Greenville.
Yeah.
My dad finished at Mississippi Valley.
Yes,
he was part of the band. They went to the Tournament of Roses Parade back in 1965. Father-in-law, Mississippi Valley graduate. So Valley near and dear to my heart, no doubt.
Valley through and through, and that band that you talked about, the Mean Green March.
Oh man, they came out just shocked everybody. All the folks in the band. We like, who found some money? It's like Mean Green.
Can I piggyback on what Hakim said?
Please.
What you said, Charles, about the love they have for the university within the Delta.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, as you mentioned, Dr. Cavil earlier, we don't get the credit and the accolades that we deserve. And the reason I went to HBCU because of Jared Rice. I wanted to be Jared Rice. That's why I went to an HBCU. I had other schools recruiting me, PWIs, but because of the impact that was made by Valley and the impact in the area, and then what you're saying about going into the community, a lot of times we don't get that recognition for what you're doing. Boys and Girls Club and all those things too, helping people get that leg up, but more importantly, giving that exposure. I'm from an area, I'm from Alabama, and we didn't have much, couldn't get out of that much. My brother went to Tennessee State, but the exposure provided by seeing people that look like me getting the opportunity to go and excel, it makes a huge difference. That makes a huge difference. We're having a toy drive as well when we play Ole Miss. You bring a toy, you get in the game free.
Okay.
Then the next day we're going to have a community where we give it back out. We're having a parade, and I'll be the grand marshal for the parade.
Nice.
So, but just getting out into the community, it makes a impact on the area. And again, as you mentioned, a lot of people don't see that, the significant impact that we have on students that may not attend our school, but they're going to other areas as well.
That's an impactful AD right there. That's impact.
That's why we have this show and to bring you on there so we can share it.
Yes, exactly.
Because it needs to be told, and that history needs to be recorded. So we're not only excited that you're doing that, but we made it a point to make sure there's a platform to share this information.
We appreciate you guys for doing that.
No doubt. It's our pleasure, our labor. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and I wanted to mention, you mentioned Ole Miss coming to campus in terms of how big it is bringing an SEC team to the campus of UAPB.
Wow. So last year we hosted the Arkansas Razorbacks. We hosted Arkansas Razorbacks on campus, and Mike Neighbors, again, I can't say enough about him and his professionalism. And, of course, we went up and played them there in Fayetteville last week on Sunday, and, again, came back with the victory. But this is very special next week with Ole Miss coming back to University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. One thing a lot of of the Power 5 student athletes. They get caught up in a lot of the things that they have. And our coach did a great job in bringing that out. Coach Thornton talked about, we don't have all the things all this stuff, what she said. But one thing, our girls transfer in. We had some great transfers that come in, some former top 5. Five-star student athletes come back. And we have several on our team, but they want to make a name. They want to play ball, and they love what they do. Yeah. And they're back there on campus, and we're excited about it. Then on top of that, Coach Yo, who's doing a commendable job at Ole Miss, she did a graduate work at UAPB. And not only did she do a graduate work there, not only she bring her team back, but she's a donor as well. She's given significantly to the program, not from the school, but from her personal
finances.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she's doing some things, and we're excited about her coming back, and we're extremely excited about what she's doing.
Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. I want to ask you this as we let you get back and enjoy your time, your space over there. Talk a little bit about the importance of this event and the fact that you have the SWAC meetings here as you discuss and planning and continuing to push and elevate the SWAC. We had these dialogues earlier with our show talking about the continued growth of the SWAC and the individual programs of what that looks like. Let me start with you, and then I'll have you with the same folks.
HBCUs in particular. Now, Hakim was part of helping to change the trajectory and the visibility of HBCUs as a whole, right? And this is the culmination of a beautiful event in which we get to showcase what we have at the top level. Traditionally, we've gone to playoff games and didn't get the best seating in a sense. But now we get the opportunity to showcase, plus get that seating if we want to do that too. So it's very important that we're able to come here, we celebrate. I look at the Alcorn hats. I see the Valley. I see the UAPB. It's HBCU love. And I was messing with a young lady on the plane today. She had a Howard hat on. I said, you got something on your hat, you need to wipe it off. But the thing is us coming together as one to showcase what we have, and it's a beautiful thing.
No doubt.
This is what you call the Fiesta Bowl, whatever you want to call it, the Celebration Bowl. This is top notch right here, what we're doing. I'm excited about it.
No doubt.
That's good. Your thoughts?
Man, coming here year in, year out for our SWAC meetings with the visionary of Commissioner. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right.
To do that here, to come bring us together, and for us to come to an area like this where we can just dialogue and talk about how we can push our conference. Me and AD here, we talked about everything, and I don't know if anybody has ever talked about this, but me and him have had some conversation over the past couple months. We are in the Delta. Delta of Arkansas, Delta, Mississippi Delta.
Great point.
And we're the only two schools in our conference that don't have a classic.
The Delta Classic. Let's go. Let's go.
The significance of us being here, talking through, hey, what can we do to
you heard it here first.
So those are the things that why this is important for us to come together, talk about different things, see, pick each other's mind, talk to the masses, and see what the people are looking in. And also the Celebration Bowl should be a bowl where no matter who's in it, every school should be represented. Right. So I love to see it when we come here. You see all the schools in the stand with their sweaters on, and you're cheering for it. So now it's SWAC versus MEAC now. Yeah. So it don't matter what school it is, we're going for the SWAC or whatever it may be. That FAMU will come out on top tomorrow for the SWAC, but it's a beautiful thing, and I think it's good for the culture of HBCUs, good for the culture of football as a whole, but it's good for us as a whole to mingle and talk a little noise and see each other and enjoy this time, of course, the holiday season as a whole. So it's a great thing. So Celebration Bowl should be a place where we all come back and celebrate no matter who's in that bowl year in, year out.
Yeah, we talk about the importance of that. Yeah.
Well said, both of y'all. Like I said, I promise to let y'all get back to it. Appreciate you spending a little time with us and give us some insight what's going on with the Golden Lions and the Delta Devils. They putting in work, y'all. Y'all better be ready.
Thank
Dr. Ville's inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Stay tuned. Might be another classic out there talking about the Delta. Let's see what it is. Let's see what's going on. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this break.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and Instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember. They can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft. Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go, why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Impress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
He's like, don't remind.
Welcome back here, Dr. Fields.
Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Mike Washington is still out on assignment, but we're here with Dr. Bryant, Alabama A&M's athletic director, as well as Prairie's athletic director, Goff. With that being said, let's get into it, gentlemen. How are you enjoying yourself? This is your first one. What you think?
This is my first one. I love it. I just got down here later this afternoon, and the fact that we were so close to this game, like
it's a little different.
I'm part mad but part happy. So,
I like hearing that. I like hearing that.
Be real about it.
That's real, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yourself? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I enjoy coming here for the Celebration Bowl. I've been around here since the inauguration of it.
Yeah.
So, it's been great. I am the only SWAC.
I wasn't gonna say it. Yeah, but I was gonna tease out there.
Yeah, but
well, he's back, so that might be a good sign.
Yeah.
Back in the SWAC.
There you go.
Yeah, so we're excited about it.
Good stuff. Let me get into this a little bit from this perspective. Just talk about your program. What's going on at Alabama A&M that you hadn't been able to put out there, at least to our fans? Let them know what's exciting, what's going on for you. And we'll have the same question for you.
Right now, we have, we're in the middle of our basketball season, about to start conference play, in which we're always excited to do. But we're putting some things together. All of our facilities are getting new scoreboards. We get digital boards across the board for all of our facilities. That's baseball, softball, tennis, even soccer has a video board. Then we're putting a ribbon in our event center. But we're excited about our academics. We see a lot of things going on. Our student athletes, we believe, are going to surpass our all-time mark in our academic grade point average for the semester. So
that's huge.
That's the one thing we're excited about.
Yeah. As a professor, I really can appreciate that. I I'm not the one that gives the F squares. That's up to you. I like to give A's, but yeah, I pass by. With that being said, what's exciting going on at Prairie View A&M?
We got a lot of things going on. You know, I've been there for 3 months, so I'm trying to build this thing from the ground up. And first,
we need to talk about the first 90 days.
Yeah, first 90 days. First, I want to say, you know, I love the fact that, you know, AD Bryant over there talked about academics, right? Because for me, real. That is the first and foremost thing of graduating our student athletes so they can go out and be productive people. You know what I'm saying? We talk about this is the place where champions are built at PV, and so that for me is the first and foremost. Athletically, obviously, we just had a great season football-wise. We won the West Division, lost to FAMU, and I'm going to keep talking about that until we beat those guys. But you know, so I got 3 big projects working on right now as we speak.
Talk about
we are turfing the infield for our baseball team.
Big.
We are putting the NCAA padding out there for the fences. For our softball team, we're moving the fence back, getting a brand new scoreboard so that we can host. Because I want to host the SWAC tournament.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, on campus because we are the defending champions.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then I'm redoing our surface for our tennis courts. And then down the road, looking at doing locker rooms we got to redo our locker rooms for football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball. So those are the things that we're looking at right now. And then obviously NIL. Like, I'm getting in that space. I'm telling y'all now, we're going to get in there. And so we're looking at those things because not only do I want to be a SWAC powerhouse, I want to be a FCS powerhouse.
Nice.
And so that's how we're trying to make the trajectory for PV right now.
Let me ask this question.
Good stuff.
And you, both of you all talk about your programs, but the state of the SWAC. You guys have been in meetings today in terms of looking at the trajectory of where this conference is and where it's going. What are your thoughts in regards to the current state of the SWAC?
You know, I think the state of the SWAC is going to be I think that we're going to be the powerhouse in FCS. But with the vision of Dr. Charles McClellan, the things that he is projecting to do, I don't know that, and I'm going to say this, I don't know that we will continue to be in this space. I think we're going to go beyond where we are, and that's with his leadership and his whole team. You know, when I talk about his leadership, I talk about his whole team. They have a vision for the SWAC that is going to be second to none, and I know that's cliche-ish, but I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Sure.
Because what we're going to do, you look at our allocation, it's not second to anyone in the FCS.
Yeah.
We are number 1, and so there's only one other move that we can make. And so, and I won't go into that.
Yeah, project. We can read into it though, and we excited about it.
Yeah.
You have to put out there, even though we like breaking things here on the show. But we got you. We got you.
It is.
We're gonna protect you as well.
Yeah, thank
you.
we smart about this.
Yeah.
We're smart about this.
AD Goff, same question.
I echo what AD Bryant just said. Like, one of the reasons I came to PV was because of the vision of what's going on in the SWAC and my new president, right? Those two reasons for me was reasons enough to come from Northern Illinois down to us, Prairie View A&M.
Wow.
So like, I am excited about where this conference is going, and the first thing I talked about when I got named, and I talked to Commissioner McClellan, I was like, hey man, not only do I want to be like good at PV, I want to be good for the SWAC. What can I do to help you to get this vision to where you want to be? I know where you want to go. Let me know how I can help you get there. And I think all 12 institutions are on the same page. We're competitors, but we are absolutely colleagues.
Sure.
I walked in this hotel earlier today. I saw FAMU. I said, hey, man, y'all got to win this thing.
Yeah.
If I can't play in it, y'all got to win it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I
am a FAMU fan right now.
Sure.
right.
Like, and I think that's the way it goes between us, and that's what's special about the SWAC. That the colleagues, me and AD Bryant, we just talked. We've got a mutual friend that I was in school with way back in Bowling Green State University, where I played ball back in the 80s.
Wow.
Right? Like, those are the connections.
That's real.
And I know everybody in the SWAC, and so we all are trying to take this thing to the next level.
That's
Listen,
awesome.
last question. I know we let you get back to it. Want to hog a lot of your time, but I really appreciate you sharing this with us and being able to put some light on the SWAC as well as your institutions. From this perspective, obviously basketball season's here. Men's program had the first 3 Division I wins for HBCU program, beating a lot of FCS programs, taking that next step you're talking about. But beyond that, what are some things that you'd like to see for the vision of your program moving forward, the next step and beyond?
Well, for us, we're trying to be competitive on that NCAA landscape, right?
Okay.
You win the SWAC, you want to be able to say, hey, I think we got a chance at that next level, that first, second round, right? You know what I'm saying? Now, when you get to the Sweet 16s and all that, that's different, right?
ball. Yeah.
But that first, second round, like all of us are trying to fund our programs, give them the resources to compete at that level.
Sure.
Now it's my turn to echo.
That's fine.
Because I think, we win the SWAC. First, let me go back to something he said. This weekend, it's all about fam.
Yep.
It's all about fam. And to his point, we get together, and we all won. Now, we all fought during the season, but right now, it's one. It's all FAMU. And so I want to echo that. But to his point, again, we want to win the SWAC, but we want to take that next step when we do get into the tournament. We want to make sure that we're not a one and done or even a 2 and done, because typically they put us in the first 4, and we want to go beyond that.
Sure.
We want to start getting those units coming into the conference that is going to benefit everybody.
That's huge.
And so once we do that, and I think the conference is putting the resources in each institution so that we can be that SWAC power.
No doubt.
Man, it's terrific to hear. I've been around the conference for 20-some years now, and I can be straightforward, reflective. I've seen some great things. I can be honest and see some things that maybe not so great. Absolutely. But in terms of what I see now, the power of brokers we got in this conference, both with head coaches in multiple sports, athletic directors, VPs of athletics, and the commissioners, I have not seen the synergy amongst the group in this power dynamic that's taken place ever before, at least these last 20-some years. And I can see the power, and I can see why things continue to grow and take off. So, again, I want to thank you all for what you all doing for the institutions. And more, just as importantly, for the student athletes.
No doubt.
In terms of that. You all are that plug and getting it done. So I want to personally say thank you in terms of that, with that, and continue the great work.
Let me say this. I want to say thank you for what you do for HBCU, like not just for PV, Texas Southern, like for the SWAC, for all of HBCU, man, because you are an icon in this business, man.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? And the things that you do to promote what we're doing, like, we love y'all, bro. Like, for real.
Love, that's real talk. I appreciate that.
Doubt,
Makes
sure.
sense. And I will say this. These gentlemen, ladies in other cases, when they see them, they don't just talk the talk. No. That respect, they make sure that I know it. So I appreciate y'all. It's real. Let's take our next break. Let these gentlemen get back to it and really enjoy their time. They're here to enjoy this space, celebrate what's here. But certainly appreciate y'all taking some time. We'll be right back after our last break. And then we'll get into some more talk, and then we'll close it down and see if we can join and celebrate a little bit with them.
And celebrate the celebration bowl.
Absolutely. Thank you.
At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplify Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
Well, you said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplify Development Services.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Of course your view parks itself. That's so you.
It's just up here on the right.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
Kinda got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
here.
Hit the field, warm up. You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yeah,
So you.
it is.
There's a Buick that fits your life because at the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and on Friday.
Press the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna law, and who the ball, ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
It's Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Mike is out on assignment. You just asked about him, Green. How you doing? With that being said, we got ONG Strike Zone. Man, we go way back.
Oh, my God.
Before we were doing any type of stream, when they were just blog sites, y'all had that history session when you went into it, and I took me back, and I was like, yeah, that's where it went down. We talking about it. So how you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, back in my hometown.
Yeah.
You see my boys hopefully pull it out. Pull it out for the SWAC, and got the rest of the team coming in late tonight or tomorrow.
We got you back now. We all with you on that. So your daughter's here, Delaware State University.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting a chance to see that, so that's interesting because you got the little mix there. Is she going for MEAC? She going dad school FAMU, or how's she handling that?
Well,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, we got all this happens all the time. It's funny about that.
Some of my ONG partners, way back in the day, they bought her a FAMU onesie when she was born.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So she kind of knows what's
yeah.
But she's down here. She's in mass communication, so she's getting a lot of learning. She's teaching me over there. You know, when you guys are filming other segments, like, what are they doing? They're doing this, they're doing that. I was like, okay.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, she's
it's
doing
working out. So,
yeah,
you know,
and they got a great program at Delaware State, as we were talking and telling about it. Yeah. She's getting in there. She's going to do well. So I'm excited for her from that perspective.
Yeah. So let's look at the game.
Yes.
What does FAMU have to do to break this MEAC hex that they've had over the SWAC?
For me, I guess my biggest focal point would be stopping the run, more or less doing what they've been doing all year, stopping the run. I don't know if we've encountered a team that had, I guess, as much running emphasis or firepower over the years. Past Prairie Review with the running backs when they're healthy.
Yep.
I think that may be one equivalent. And I've not seen Howard a lot. But I think if FAMU plays a clean game, and if we just do what we've been doing all year, we should come out on top. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the same. I know the other day when we were doing the show that there's only one game that we've had where we actually won, where we had less than a double-digit margin of victory. So I don't know, and I don't expect it. I don't know if it's going to go that way, because this, once again, is a bowl game, the best of the best. So you can't expect the other team to just roll over. But I do think with the plan that Coach Simmons has put in, the defense staying on his keys, and the offense being very consistent and jumping out the fast starts like they have in the last few games. Early on in the season, we had slow starts.
Yeah.
And very inconsistent play. But recently, we've had more consistent play and fast starts, which bodes well. So I think doing those things will put us in victory.
We had a discussion to follow up on that question where I like the direction you're going with that. we've been discussing like matchups. So I know a lot of your focus now, obviously, on SWAC teams. But how much do you get a chance to watch some of the MEAC games?
I did watch Howard play Eastern Michigan early in the season.
Okay. So the reason I asked that, one of the things that I talked about, and I always like to look at similar teams in terms of a matchup. So I thought for Howard, some of the similar teams that they had that looked like FAMU, it took like two teams. So I said their matchup against Morgan State be a similar in terms of attacking defense, the defense that is multiple level to be able to stop stuff in terms of that matchup. But then for them, the offense would be more in terms of what they've seen from North Carolina Central. What are your thoughts? Do you see that similarly in terms of, different ways to look at the game in terms of those matchups?
To a certain degree, yes.
Okay.
Now, with North Carolina Central, I know Davius Richard, he was the focal point of the offense, and he was a dual threat. Jeremy Musa isn't necessarily a dual threat, so he's more of a pocket passer. So in that parallel in terms of the team makeup, I would say yes, with the difference being the quarterback mobility between Jeremy Musa and Davius Richard. The other thing, the depth of wide receiver that FAMU has, and we talked about this the other day on the ONG Strike Zone, in terms of, I know that they have Gallup as Defensive Player of the Year, but he can only be on one spot on the field. And FAMU and the wide receiver core and the tight end core, you go 3 deep with guys who are either redshirt seniors
that's what you said.
or graduates. We have at least 3 wide receivers, 2 of whom were either preseason or postseason all SWAC, and Jamarie Cherie, Marcus Riley, and then we always have a little bit of height with my homeboy from Decatur. And so
Decatur is greater.
Things. Yes.
So, and that was the matchup that I'm really looking to, and it leads to my question, because I've said the matchup that I'm really looking forward to is Kenny Gallup versus Marcus Riley, because I think Marcus Riley is a game breaker, a game changer. But if you're the defensive coordinator for Howard, who is that receiver that you put your best DB on and say, I need him locked up?
I would say Marcus Riley. Now, if you have Riley and Sheree on the field at the same time, which we do a lot, then you have to pick your poison, because you have speed in either place and they can run them out wide, or either run them wide with a sweep or also have them go deep. So you have that threat and you have to pick which one. But right now, I would say Marcus Riley's probably been a little bit more consistent and a little more consistently dangerous.
Good stuff.
As you can see from the SWAC championship.
I want to follow up on this. A lot of the MEAC fans like to talk about shotgun Willie Simmons and how he's propensity to put the ball up. But I hadn't really seen it this year. Am I misreading that, or is that the case?
We did analysis as part of our preseason for the ONG Strike Zone, and we looked at 2021 and 2022, comparing the play call in terms of the run and pass play call balance and the overall number of plays. And in 2021, when we had Rashawn McKay, it was slightly towards the run. Last year was heavy towards the pass.
Right.
Almost a 70-play differential. This year, we're almost even, especially in the last few weeks where Terrell Jennings has come on. And as Kelvin noted last night in our show, we've had almost a 30-yard per game increase in our rush yards per game since, I believe, the Southern game. So
I love that. Now we're getting into some real talk.
Yeah, what has led to the increase, especially in running? Because when I take a look at the stats, the leading rusher for FAMU has less than 500 yards. But when you take a look at the totality of the running game, I see where you're going in regards to those stats. But especially toward the latter part of the year, it seems as though Terrell Jennings has really picked it up. And I guess I'm curious at what led to a little bit more balance with regards to run the pass.
Well, I think even at the start of the season, and actually the last couple of seasons, Coach Simmons has emphasized trying to establish the run. And last year that wasn't really the case, but he came in this year with a focal point, and it just started off a little bit, at least from our estimation, like we're shotgunning a lot, but then he started to transition. And I think Terrell Jennings also, his dedication, and there were some articles that came out this week where he talked about running the stairs and running around the stadium after practice. I believe he said in his post-game interview for the SWAC championship game, and you could see the increase in speed and his stamina, and he's really taken the mantle. Because we started out with the rotation of backs throughout the course of the year, but you can see where he has taken the mantle and taken the onus on himself to really emphasize that running game. And I think just the wear and tear of the season, his taking command of the bulk of the carries, and just being able to relieve some of the pressure off of Jeremy Moose, I think the combination of those things has led to the increase in the rush attack and boded well for FAMU that we're not overly emphasizing throwing in the ball and, only one good thing can happen and two bad things can happen, incomplete pass or interception. So I think that also bodes well.
The time off that the MEAC has becomes a talking point every year. From your vantage point, do you think that plays a factor into why the MEAC has done as well as they have against the SWAC?
That's hard to say because the month off can allow folks to heal, but also allows to get rust. So there's a balance there. I don't know if I necessarily play credence into it because you would also think that with what FAMU's done this year is they've tried to adhere to a consistent schedule, and Coach Simmons spoke to that as well, but they try to keep their routine. And so before the SWAC championship game and between now, it's almost like having a bye week during the course of the season, so they try to treat it as such. So I think that consistency and that mindset will help them not come in. And we've had some people who've been out for a while but are coming back healthy, some offensive linemen and other players. So I do believe that, once again, that time gives them the ability to get well and make a contribution in the game.
Sure.
Great questions there. I'll talk about that. I want to jump in a little bit because that irritates me. And I know it comes up, so it needs to be asked.
Yeah.
But the thing, I don't think, our sample size is really big enough to get any real data out of it. But with that being said, just play along with it. There's only been really one blowout, 2 games that were maybe some significance in terms of it. But rest of them been close games. So to me, when you talk about superiority, that means one team is dominating the other teams in terms of the score too. It's a difference when conference is consistently winning. That means, to their credit, they're getting it done. But to me, that's 2 different things when you talk about, that matchups, because all of them are coming in with different styles of play and stuff like that, how that looks like. And the other thing is, it's not like it's like multiple teams. It's been really one team from the MEAC that represented for 4 or 5 years, right? And so how much of that is the actual team versus a conference doing that? And then you go back to the MEAC Swallowers the last 5 years, it's been about even. You talk about matchups during the year, it's been even. So all of a sudden now you're just going to say that. And so I guess there's some ways to look at it and lean to it, but it'll be interesting to see as things progress, the sample size. Then I think it'd be better to make that argument. If it continues, then, hey, maybe you do have to look at it. But if things change, particularly starting this Saturday, we'll see what else that may be. But final thing is we start to get ready to close up, get on the table. FAMU wins if.
FAMU wins if we play consistent, minimize penalties, and don't allow the moment to get too big.
Okay.
And I don't think with the amount of stadiums that we've played in big games, I don't think that in the amount of seniors we had, about a third of our team are graduates or seniors. So I don't think the moment will get too big.
Veteran ball club.
Staying within yourself, everybody doing their 1 of 11 on offense and defense, and just let the chips fall where they may, and I think FAMU will win.
I like that. Great points. Well, that'll do it for us. Thank you for listening to Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Make sure you share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. I am Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports, with Mike Washington Charles Bishop, a guest here at ONG Strike Zones Green, getting it done and throwing up a little bit of the rather strike zone there. He snuck it in there. I like it.
I got to learn it over the weekend.
Exactly. Again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Ville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington Charles Bishop every Tuesday and Thursday, doing a special edition as we're live here. Check us out in the morning as we will be on Radio Row. We'll give you that insight. We'll go over there and cover the practices before games. So we'll get you some pictures on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, so make sure you follow us there. In terms of those space, for me, that's Dr. Kenyatta Cavil, Cavil, that's DrKenyatta Cavil. Twitter, where can they follow you?
At Charles Bishop 53.
Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, you want to give yours so they can follow you?
Yes.
Mike.
Sorry about that. Well, my Twitter is Decatur, DECATUR_G. And you can follow also ONG Strike Zone, just as it sounds, at O and spelled out G Strike Zone.
Nice. Well done. Welcome home. With that being said, hopefully it's a homecoming party for you. Celebration in many ways. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest in the news. As I said, Sunday morning I'll be up. I'll be headed to Las Vegas, so we won't have a Sunday show. We'll have our last Sunday show next week to kind of close things out, give you a final pin on the bubble for the football season, name our champions, and let you know what that looks like as well. Follow me as we continue to get it done. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube is Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Dream big and continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. Charles?
Of course.
Roy? Lecture. Dismiss.